Welcome to Spiritual Strength. I'm Gene Zannetti, your coast-to-coast spiritual coach, and I'm excited to build you into the total athlete for Christ. My whole life has been built around success in sports and fitness. My brothers and I wrestled from elementary school right through college, where we were all Ivy League, ranked in the top 20 in the country. I currently own a business, Winning Mindset, dedicated to building mental muscle in athletes, including Olympic teams and professional athletes. Before that, I was a personal trainer. My whole purpose is to help people overcome their weaknesses and build strength. And that's exactly what I'll be doing for you in this series. I wrote a book as a guide to help you learn more about the faith, as well as practical exercises to help you get into shape spiritually. It will help you during this video series. This series is on overcoming the 7 capital vices. Among all the evils mankind can perform, St. Thomas Aquinas says that there are 7 capital vices which give rise to all the others. The 7 capital vices are vainglory, anger, lust, gluttony, avarice, sloth, and envy. We must remember that at the root of all the capital vices is pride, which we'll treat in the next video. Now, how can someone overcome the 7 capital vices? Well, each vice has an opposite virtue. St. Thomas says virtue is a good quality of the mind which helps us live righteously. Importantly, humility is the chief virtue that underlies all virtues. If we strengthen the opposing virtue, the vice will begin to disappear. Humility overcomes pride. Magnanimity overcomes vainglory. Meekness overcomes wrath. Chastity overcomes lust. Abstinence overcomes gluttony. Liberality overcomes avarice. Charity towards God overcomes sloth. And charity towards others overcomes envy. I will be your spiritual coach, taking you through 8 spiritual workouts designed to help you overcome each of the 7 capital sins and strengthen their opposing virtues. Your spiritual workout is composed of a warm-up, exercise, and stretch. The spiritual warm-up will be 3 invocations from the Litany of Humility to begin in prayer and help us focus on Our Lady's greatest virtue, humility, which will be the first video in the series. By the end of the series, you will have said the entire Litany of Humility, which you should make it a point to commit to memory. The spiritual exercise will be some form of active learning to build the virtue on a practical level, a specific action you can take right now to get to work on immediately to build virtue. You will want to use the book to help organize your thoughts, or at very least, get a notebook on which you can complete the exercise. Putting the pen to paper improves your attention rate by 150%, so we want to work hard and smart when we train. The spiritual stretch will be from a meditation from the mystical city of God by Venerable Mary of Agreda, who Our Lady revealed exactly how she perfectly exhibits each one of the virtues. Just like stretching helps us bend our bodies beyond their ordinary capacity, meditating on Our Lady's virtues will stretch us in growth beyond that virtue which we're capable of without her help. Remember, not only do we imitate Mary's virtues, but as the mediatrix of all graces, Mary distributes to us every gift of the Holy Ghost, her spouse, which perfects the virtue and gives them a divine character. When we first start exercising, it's very hard. The body revolts, it reacts, it feels tired, sick, the heart is racing, you have no energy. Eventually, if you stick with it, exercise begins to feel great. You get that runner's high, your body begins to produce endorphins. You feel crummy when you don't work out. And in the same way, when you first practice virtue, it's very hard. You don't feel like it. And eventually, the virtuous act gives a joy in and of itself. Training your spiritual strength makes virtuous action first possible and eventually delightful and effortless. This entire series will be very Marian because that's the nature of our Catholic faith. The entire goal of Christianity is transformation of our soul into Christ. The only way Christ is ever formed is through the 2 indispensable sanctifiers of the soul, the Holy Ghost and Mary. Mary cooperated with the Holy Ghost in order for Christ to be formed in her virginal womb. So this is the end goal of our spiritual workouts, to imitate the virtues of Mary, that we may be sooner transformed into Christ. Now, let's get to work. And remember, every weakness is overcome by spiritual strength.